You pray all the time for safety and comfort because you have a perspective that this world is all there is. Here's what this means. Some of you are here. You claim to be a Christian, a Christ follower, but the reality of it is just your worldview at the center, underneath your beliefs, actually is more one influenced by culture than the Bible. Let me prove it. Okay? If you take the Bible and you put this in that center ring and you say, I want a biblical worldview, okay, then what is true is there's God, he has a kingdom, he's going to restore his kingdom here. I'm playing a small part in that narrative. Then, so what is good is his glory. What is ultimate is God's glory. So then we behave in such a way that the most ultimate thing is God's glory. So then we share the gospel everywhere we go. We pray for the lives of others. We pray that we would be bold, and we live like we have a biblical worldview. If you did not pray for revival this week, every day, on the regular, you don't have a prayer problem, you have a worldview problem. If the sum of most of your prayers are for safety and protection and comfort, you don't have a prayer problem, you have a worldview problem. You've forsaken the reality that this world is temporary. Your life is expendable. You will live forever somewhere. That's what is ultimate, God and his glory. Now, your worldview, bros. Take it, teach it to others. If the Bible defines your worldview, then what you will value most is people coming to know God for his glory. If the sum total of your prayers is safety and comfort, you have, as I said, a worldview problem. The first century church knew the Bible and they stood on it, and their behavior followed. It was consistent with this message. The 21st century church neither knows or understands the Bible, nor do we, as a whole, stand on it. But if we did, let me show you what would happen. Now, Lord, in a prayer, church is praying, collectively, corporately. Now, Lord, consider their threats and enable your servants. Here we go. Here comes the ask. Here comes the ask. This is their response to what just happened. Now, consider their threats and enable your servants to be comfortable, protected. Father, would you smite them? Would you wipe them out? Would you wipe them off the face of the planet? Lord, they put that knife to our head. Would you make it dull? Make a mockery of them. What are they going to pray? What would you pray for? What are they going to pray for? Now, Lord, consider their threats and enable your servants to speak your word with great boldness. They do not ask God to change their circumstances. They ask God to change them in the midst of their circumstances. God, you told us trouble was coming. We're not asking you to stop the trouble. We're asking you to make us bold in the midst of the trouble. How crazy is this? God, would you strengthen us? Why did they pray for boldness? Why did they pray for boldness? Because they were scared. Why were they scared? Because they were human. I deeply empathize with this. I can imagine if in just a few moments I step down from this stage and someone comes up to me and says, hey, Jonathan, let me tell you something, buddy. I'm coming after you and your family. I'm going to start with your son, Weston, your 3-year-old. I'm going to cut off his head. And then I'm going to go to your 7-year-old Finley, and then your 9-year-old Presley, and then your wife, and I'm going to make you watch unless you stop preaching Jesus. And then when I'm done with them, I'm going to cut off your head. I'm going to wipe you out unless you stop preaching Jesus. Do you know what I'm going to be tempted to do? To run and to hide. And all these fears are going to consume me. And I'm going to be, do they know where I live? We know where you live. Oh, they know where I live. I know where your kid goes to school. I'm coming for you, man. Unless you stop preaching Jesus. I tell you, I'm going to be so tempted. God, I don't need a hedge. I need a steel wall of protection around my house. God, you send every angel you have. God, you cause their heart to stop beating right now. Take their life. God, deliver my enemies to me. Father, help me not to stop. Help me not to stop preaching. God to help me to go out screaming this truth until the vocal cords are severed. Stretch out your hand, verse 30, to heal and perform signs and wonders through the name of your holy servant Jesus. This is so perverted and distorted today in the church today that when we read that, we don't even know what to do with it. It simply says, show yourself to be great so that others know you. Help us not to shrink back. Make Jesus famous. Last week, Todd challenged us to go to others and ask them, hey, who is Jesus to you? Who do you say Jesus is? How do we do? How do we do? My hunch is I bet, I'm going to go on a limb, I bet we need prayer for boldness.